welcome to Undercover, where we're catching up with Chris Horsey, and it's very good to see a very interesting production, Crazy For You, about to hit our stages.
Fantastic. Yeah, the production of Crazy For You is something that of a revival of the genre of musical itself. I believe that back in the 80s, when the big budget new sort of modern musicals took hold, like Cats, Les Mis, Phantom of the Opera, was really a new take on musicals, and that really distracted everybody from the old-fashioned classic musical genre. And it's in my opinion that I think Crazy For You really was responsible for bringing back the old-fashioned musical and competing with the popular musicals like Cats and Les Mis. Crazy For You is known as the new Gershwin musical, and for that reason, I really think you can't go wrong with a show like this, because it's backed by some of the most fantastic musical tunes I think ever written by George and Ira Gershwin.
Yeah. Tell us about some of those songs. What are they?
Well, there's a wonderful, huge, big dance number in Crazy For You to a song called Slap That Bass. But then there's the romantic songs, Embraceable You, and
Someone to Watch Over Me.
Someone to Watch Over Me.
They Can't Take That Away From Me.
Yeah, and I Got Rhythm, which I think we all know and love, and perfect scenarios and perfect tunes to tap dance to, and that's what you're going to see in Crazy For You. It's really, I would suggest, if you like 42nd Street, a musical like 42nd Street, you're going to love Crazy For You.
Yeah. Well, tell us about the character you play in Crazy For You, Lank.
I play Lank Hawkins, who's not a very balanced chap, and he has his own vision in life, and not a lot of people share that vision with Lank. So he's a strange individual, and he has a twisted way of looking at the world. He owns the saloon where our play is set for the majority, and we get to see him fumble around and lose his mind.
Well, let's go through the storyline for Crazy For You, based on Girl Crazy, wasn't it?
That's right. The story of Crazy For You follows the story of Bobby, who is a sort of 1930s playboy who is born into a wealthy family, but doesn't necessarily want to pursue the wishes of his mother, and wants to pursue his love of dance. And this is the perfect platform, of course, for a musical. He is sent to Dead Rock, Nevada to foreclose on a property, and meets Polly, falls in love with Polly, and there our musical is set, and we find out exactly how Bobby realizes his dream to dance.
Now, this is the production company's first major production too, isn't it?
This is production company's first major production this year. Production company offers Australia and, of course, the citizens of Melbourne 3 opportunities per year to see a production. This is their first this year. This is the 11th year, I think, of the production company, and I was fortunately part of their first season 11 years ago, so I have quite a history with the production company and have enjoyed every production I've done with them. But this show, Crazy For You, is the first in a series of 3. The second production will be The Boyfriend, and the third production will be Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, which will be quite interesting.
Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, the musical.
Sure, yeah.
Now explain how Dirty Rotten Scoundrels has some music behind it.
I have no idea. I believe it was there was a production of it in New York and the West End recently. I'm not sure about that. But this will be the first time we see Dirty Rotten Scoundrels in Australia. Yeah. So I'm a huge fan of Steve Martin and the story itself. So that should be quite interesting to see.
Did they write the songs for this, or is this other songs that have been picked for it?
I think that's usually the way that these shows work, and in pre-production, and of course, unless it's a show like. Mamma Mia, which is of course ABBA songs, and the songs are already there. Something like Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, I think the songs would be specifically written for them. But then, having said that, Crazy For You is the new Gershwin musical, and these songs weren't originally written for this story. But I think the joy and the wonder of this production when it first opened back in the early 90s was that a lot of people did think that George and Ira Gershwin wrote these songs for this musical because it was really so seamlessly produced.
Let's talk about Richard Pratt, because the show's been dedicated to Richard Pratt.
Yeah, great. Well, look, he's provided the production company with the funding, of course, and given Australia a boost, music theatre-wise. We don't get a chance really in this country to play as many roles and to produce as many shows as perhaps other countries do. And so the production company really does facilitate us actors the opportunity to play roles that we wouldn't otherwise have had a chance to play. And this is really all due to Richard Pratt and the production company, and for that reason I think, you know, they do a wonderful job. And if it wasn't for Jeannie, you know, waving the flag for musical theatre, I really don't think the production company would be going, and it's her passion and her drive for musical theatre that keeps the production company alive, and you know, I'm grateful for that because I get to play this crazy character called Lank, and also other roles in other shows in the past.
Now, you did emphasise you get to play a crazy character. It's not typecast, is it?
No, it's not. Well, it depends what my mood is that day. But it certainly helps to have a little bit of craziness about you if you're playing a crazy character. But no, I'm not about to put on my other head and swing a punch at you right now.
So Crazy for You at the State Theatre in Melbourne. And Chris, good to catch up with you.
Thanks, mate.